Hi, I'm Jillian Petrie for GALvanize, and today I have the honor of introducing you to our Who Not Do guest, the award-winning sports journalist Nancy Armour. Nancy is currently a columnist for USA Today Sports, as well as host of the successful new podcast, Changing the Game. A journalist with an incredible reputation in the industry, she is also an aunt, a runner, and a self-proclaimed Starbucks junkie. Join us today as we flip the script and explore this storyteller's story. So Nancy, your career is built on telling other people's stories. How comfortable are you with telling your own story?
I'm not going to lie. It's weird to be on the other side of it because we're, as journalists, we're used to, being very objective and, being kind of anonymous. And so, yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's weird.
Yeah, when I was doing research, I didn't find a lot on you. Was that by design, or is that just part of the career that you've been living?
I think it's probably part of my career. I will say that in the last couple of years as a columnist, I'm pretty careful about what I share about my family in particular, since, it's my choice to do what I do. It's not their choice. And so if people want to, I unfortunately, like pretty much any journalists these days, have trolls and people coming after me, and I expect that as part of the job, but that's not the case for the people, my friends and family. So I try and kind of insulate them from that.
I really wanted to ask you about that because, internet trolls are everywhere, and as a woman in sports, you're definitely a target for them. Has it ever affected your personal life?
Like I said, I'm probably more careful about what I share and say about my family. I used to not even think anything of referring to them or maybe making a reference to them or including them in photos and things like that. And I don't do that anymore. And that's a conscious decision. But when it comes to me, no, like I said, I know that that's part of the job. It's an unwelcome part of the job, but it's a part of the job. So I don't live my life any differently because of that.
As a columnist, your personal views become front page center sometimes. Where did you find the confidence to share your views so publicly?
Oh, I didn't. This was never my plan. Never my plan, never my idea, never my want. When I moved to USA Today now 6 years ago, which I cannot believe it's been 6 years, I had been hired by one of my old bosses at the Associated Press. And she told me that the job was basically going to be doing what I was doing at the AP, which was longer form features, covering big events, an occasional column on like soccer, the World Cup, things, basically what I had already been doing. Okay, that sounded fine to me. And I started in January of 2014, went to the Sochi Olympics. Went to Sochi Olympics, did some things at the Final Four, did columns at the World Cup, and then I thought I'd come home and get into doing features. And when I talked with her after I got home, I said, okay, so what are your thoughts for me now? And she said, 3 columns a week. And I said, I'm sorry, what? She said, yeah, you're a columnist now. I'm like, oh, okay. Which was probably a good thing. If she had given me a choice, I wouldn't have done it on my own. I've gotten, I don't want to say comfortable. It's gotten, I don't want to say easy either. I've gotten more used to giving my opinion, sharing my voice, or using my voice. But I don't know that I'll ever be completely comfortable with it, which I think is actually probably a good thing because it makes me think. I don't just throw things out there because it's, like I said, it is still not comfortable for me.
What was something that helped you find that confidence through that? I mean, you were thrown into it, but do you have any, I know a lot of the GALvanize girls too, like we're new to it and we're starting to go down that journey. Like, what would you tell yourself, looking back?
I think the big thing, and I know I'm not alone in this, is trusting your own voice. I have never been one who's been shy about sharing my opinions, with my friends, with my family. And I guess realizing that does mean I have something to say. And, I think some of the feedback I got initially from people, whether it was not that they so much agreed with, but that people saying you gave me something to think about, that to me kind of told me that, okay, maybe you do have something to say. Maybe your voice is going to make people look at things a little differently than they would have otherwise, or than they would have reading other people. And so I think that probably helped steady me or make me think, okay, let's keep going, or let's see how this goes. And 6 years later, I'm still kind of taking that approach.
Your grit and tenacity are evident. Is there a correlation between your approach to storytelling and your passion for marathon running?
Oh, probably, maybe. I'm somebody who, if I don't like to fail. And if I start something, I'm pretty much hell bent on finishing it. In fact, there was one marathon I ran, Barcelona, in 2008. And I remember hitting the wall at like mile 13. And I told my best friend after that, and he just started laughing. He's like, yeah, so what? There was no way that you were going to quit. He's like, there was no way you were going to quit. And so maybe that determination, or that stick-to-itiveness has helped me in my job. I also think that running is kind of, I say it's what keeps my head from popping off, but I'll write a lot of times in my head, or I'll think about things, especially if I've got a column that I'm struggling with, or there's a topic that my thoughts aren't fully formed. I'll go out for a run and I'll think about it on that. And that almost always helps me kind of crystallize things.
We are going to end with a rapid fire round of questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Starbucks order.
Grande non-fat, no foam latte with 1 Splenda, please.
Favorite mantra.
This is actually something that a guy who used to work for the Milwaukee Journal wrote about Dan Jansen and the Olympics. For the beauty of the human spirit is in the heart and the soul and in the trying, not always in the results.
Oh, I love that. Favorite activity to do with your 3 nephews?
Pretty much anything, because they're just hilarious. We talk about sports a lot. Yeah, pretty much anything. Except I hate watching them play video games, because most of them I just don't understand.
One thing you wish everyone knew when you walked into a room about you?
I'm not as mean as I come off, maybe. And I don't, despite how I might come off, I don't always think I'm right.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us today, Nancy.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Viewers, you can follow Nancy on Twitter and Instagram at NRArmour. That's NRARMOUR. And you can view more of our Who Not Do series on GALvanize's Instagram account at GALvanize Life. Thank you so much for watching.